from that, Matt, we had, of course, the WWE Hall of Fame as well, and of course you would have known about the shenanigans that went on in it, the ridiculous prat that came out and took, basically came in and took Bret Hart down, which then led to a lot of wrestlers getting involved. Matt, did you see any of the Hall of Fame, or have you just seen the highlights?
I saw the highlights. It looked like a lot of fun this year, actually.
Yeah.
And a lot of people speaking from the heart. And if you take away the DX part, because that was just silly, really, wasn't it? That was, like I said earlier, that was just like Triple H's his pre-party to the actual match show. They done it different this year. They had a ring in the middle, and instead of a stage, they came down and had just spoke in the middle. Some had inductees, some didn't, but I did enjoy the pacing of it. It was a bit quicker. You had the Honky Tonk Man coming out in the pink Cadillac, which I thought was hilarious, and then singing his way out. Thankfully, Matt, he didn't say anything too out of the ordinary there. So I think everyone was holding their breath when he got out there, but everything was cool, everything was fine. With him, Tori Wilson, man, I was almost in tears at the end of her speech. I tell you, it was very emotional. Great to see Stacey Keebler back as well. Haven't seen her for, I think they said 15 years or something. Matt, it's crazy, isn't it? Wow. I think it's that long. She was worried, by the way, that fans wouldn't remember her. Couldn't believe that, but yeah. Great moment there, and then we had Bret and come out, obviously. I got to say, I was really shocked that happened first and foremost, but it makes me wonder now, Matt, whether the Hall of Fame will be like that again because of what's happened and the way they laid it out. I don't know. Maybe better security. I have no idea, but that sort of thing, Matt, I mean, I don't want to give too much publicity to it because it just, it makes us focus on that too much and gives that guy what he wants. But from your point of view, Matt, I mean, was you surprised when you heard about that and, that sort of thing happening in this sort of day and age sort of thing? Especially with a guy like Bret, I mean, and Natalia, given the circumstance. It can happen to anyone, though, really.
Yeah.
We've seen things like happened with Dean, when Dean was possibly about to be attacked and when Roman was hit with a briefcase, when it comes to sort of public interaction, you can never really be too careful these days. It's a sad time to be in, but you never really know someone's intentions, and it's a good thing that WWE are really strict on their kind of admission policy. Like, they do make you go through metal detectors and check your pockets for stuff and stuff. But then, people feel like that's a hassle, but it really is for the safety of people coming to these events and for the performers. No one should have to feel like they're in danger at any time like that.
Yeah, I think just for me, I mean, it does happen. I know that. I was just shocked that this idiot chose to do it when, given the circumstances of Bret and Natty being out there, and that was just threw me the most. But I tell you, there was an old school mentality all of a sudden kicked off, Matt, that if you're a fan that goes in the ring, you're going to get beaten up bad. That old school mentality happened, and I know Harry Smith got down there pretty quick, and I know that what's that guy? What's Ronda's guy's name? Husband, he was in there quick, and so I don't think that guy wanted. And I know what's his name? Wilder got cut a big punch coming as well to give him. But yeah, I mean, back in the day, Matt, if you was a fan that got in the ring, the promoters used to tell you better finish him off. Don't come back to me unless you do it, because it would stop other fans from ever trying to do it as well. So that was the old mentality, and I'm sure it was a big mistake for that guy to do it. Pleased that Bret's okay. I know he did go to the hospital that night because he had some hip problems, but obviously he was there at WrestleMania, so I'm guessing everything's okay now. I will say one thing about Bret. He told such a funny story, really worth watching, Matt, if you get the opportunity, about him, Jim Neidhart and King Kong Bundy getting out of Madison Square Garden in a car as heels. It is really, really worth checking out. I wouldn't do the story justice if I was to tell it on here, but it was one of those great Jim the Anvil Neidhart stories that Brett was a witness to. So really recommend everybody to go and check that out. Who else was there, Matt? Of course, Brutus. The fucking barber beefcake. He was there, Matt. He was there. He was there with the clippers, the big shears in his hands. Hulk Hogan coming out.
If I had known that it was going to be his Hall of Fame kind of year, I might have been a bit kinder towards him. But I was being honest.
Yeah. He was there doing his stuff. We had the lady that makes all the Make-A-Wishes, Sue. I forgot her surname. That was a great moment, actually. And John Cena was there, and she made this kind of really bold statement. Apparently, Justin Bieber has announced that he's got the most Make-A-Wishes. Apparently, that's a load of crap. She was saying, and she rung them up to clarify it, because apparently Justin Bieber put that out. But still, it's holding the record that John Cena is the most person to ever give those wishes. But yeah, it was great moments there with them. Of course, we had the Harlem Heat, Booker T and his brother show up. That was pretty cool. And of course, DX at the end of it, Matt. And I was surprised, Matt, that they mentioned AEW as many times as they did. I thought, blimey, that's free publicity for them. Cody hasn't even got to go there this week. Really surprised. I know they had Billy Gunn there, but it wasn't like they just did it once or twice. It was 3 times. I mean, I was thinking, now, WWE never used to even mention TNA. So for them to be mentioning this, it kind of, I don't really know what to make of that, Matt. What do you think when you see Triple H doing it? I know he's probably kidding about, but like Vince normally in the past would have nothing like that said.
Yeah, it is a little bit edgy, I suppose, but I suppose the way they see it is just a bit of banter between friends.
Yeah.
It does come off that way on camera. It doesn't seem to be taken too serious. And right now, after all the hype and all the things that have been said, has anything credible actually affected the WWE right now? No, it hasn't really. It's not really affected their business too much. So until it does become a problem, I don't see why it should be treated as a problem. Yeah,
it's just odd that they're playing to it a little bit. That's all. Of course, he remarked at the Young Bucks when they do the too sweet thing. It was hilarious that he doesn't like it, the way they did it. And then there was Shawn Michaels saying, "You're all in to this," and then the other remark that Vince would buy that pissant company just to fire you. Just a few heated remarks. Just made me feel like it was a bit touchy about it, that's all. The one thing I was really pleased about the Hall of Fame, Matt, and I do recommend you check it out if you haven't, is China. I felt they'd done a very, very good job of dealing with that and handling it. They done better than I thought they would. I think they had to, but even Triple H was pretty teary-eyed about it. X-Pac made some good, valid stuff in there. I mean, they did an excellent job. I was really pleased. I know Chyna's sister was there that night as well, and a couple of more of her family. So I'm kind of pleased that WWE didn't brush over her, and they did. I know Triple H recently come out and said, he doesn't see why she can't have her own inductor as a solo competitor as well, which I think she should be, which I'm hoping they do, Matt. I was pleased with it. Did you see any of that at all, or have you still got to check that out, that stuff?
Like I said, I just saw the highlights
so
far. I will go back and check out some of the speeches a little more in depth. We all know it's hard to keep track of this weekend.
Yeah, it's a lot going on.
Clear your schedule to get it all done.
Yeah, no doubt about that. It is a busy weekend. Like I say, it's non-stop. Okay, well, let's get to the questions then, Matt, shall we? And of course, just finishing up on a bit of news before we do. Obviously, Batista has officially retired, according to his Twitter. Anyway, that's what he's saying. Other stuff like that came out after last night. Daniel Cormier, Matt, he made a tweet against Brock Lesnar saying that he just put something like, "Oh well, Brock, you got beat," or something by, because I know Daniel Cormier's favourite wrestler is Seth Rollins, so
I think that played into his hands well. Also, just an update about the guy that did assault Bret Hart. He is still currently in jail as we speak. Other news in and around is we got. Oh, there's apparently what I am surprised about, Matt, is the next pay-per-view is Money in the Bank. They don't have one before that, and then of course it's going to be the Saudi trip, which is going to happen. But I guess that's because they're touring in the UK soon. So, it'll be the Money in the Bank pay-per-view next. I'm guessing the shake-up will be in a couple of weeks then, Matt, won't it?
What with the unification of the women's title now? Well, I'm saying unification. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but that feels like the reason behind it. Would I be mistaken there?
Let's hope so. And also, there was an injury to Ronda Rousey as well that I was hearing. It was this. Yes, so the Wrestling Observer reports here that Ronda Rousey did suffer a broken right hand from throwing punches during a WrestleMania 35 match against Becky Lynch. They described the injuries as significant and noted that while she was previously scheduled to appear on Raw tonight, it's now unclear if she will appear due to the injury. Last night's main event has, of course, been the centre of conflicting reports about if she's finished with the WWE or she's not, and also whether Rousey is unhappy with the way things ended due to the lack of time. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on Raw tonight with that one. Okay, let's get to the questions then and people's point of views here. We've got Ricky Stead, I think that's how you pronounce it. He likes it. I love Mania this year. It was so sweet. I was left just wanting more. Bloody hell. God, I'll tell you, if there's one thing I didn't want, it was more of it.
8-hour one next year.
Hang on, this gets better. Best match of the night was Triple H versus Batista. They killed it. So they do have their fans out there, Matt. There you go. There is something for everyone, I guess. It's okay. Fair enough, Ricky. They've got an interesting name here. This is Big Man Joe. I think he's put here, with this WrestleMania. Nothing special, lacks star power for me. I watched Mania X7 and that was just pure gold. Feel 3 and 17 are the best ones because they just bring the two biggest wrestlers of that time together in the main event. Where do you rank this WrestleMania to you both? I rank it quite low. I don't know where I would in the whole 35, but this one's probably in the bottom 12, somewhere like that. What about you, Matt?
It's difficult, isn't it? 35 WrestleMania.
Sort that out now, right?
I put it in the middle somewhere in the middle of the pack. I mean, I know it's an easy thing to say, but there was highs and lows in this. There was good moments. I did like that they gave a lot back to the fans, but then on the same side of that, I feel like they gave too much back to the fans. I'm one of those guys that like to be a little bit disappointed in some things, and I feel like to give every fan favourite the kind of win, it's almost trying too hard.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Okay, DX1. Just wasted a good night's sleep for this cluster. I watched along with your Mania 19 watch along the other day, and that seemed well formatted. What's happened to WrestleMania now? Mania 19 had HBK Y2J, Booker versus Triple H, Hogan versus Vince, Austin versus Rock, and Brock versus Angle. All followed each other. They were not spread out. Fans were hyped for each one because it was like 3.5 hour show only. This one wore me down. Your thoughts on the format? Well, we discussed this earlier. It's a great point. I'm glad you pointed that out. I was trying to think of that WrestleMania earlier. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, Matt, I know WWE, they say we've got to pace these things out. We've got to put one big one on at the beginning, one in the middle, one at the end. But like, we have seen it before. And me and you both sat there and we watched 19. And those 5 matches he's just wheeled off there, they're all big matches. They all had a lot of stake on it. But yeah, all the fans were into it. But is it because